So Empty Eyes. This is going to be my first EP coverage. So first of all, I'm going to say that yes, I am about a week late on this one. I just wanted to cover a lot of the albums that released that week. So let's start off with the first track, Empty Eyes. And you know what? Ain't too bad. The intro really sets this song up the best out of all the other songs. The keyboard at the start sets it up for this moody atmosphere, and even though it doesn't hold that throughout the entire song, they try to, and that's commendable. It's an alright song. I don't really mind it. It's not too bad. It's an enjoyable listen. There's not much I can really add on to that apart from the vocals were not too bad, and I enjoyed the solo, which will be a theme throughout this entire EP. The solos in this album are pretty damn good, and the solo in Empty Eyes is a good showcase of that. It's overall a pretty decent song, ain't too bad. Next up is Monster, the second song on this 5-track album, and the song ain't too bad as well. For me, the best part is just before the main chorus hits. There's this really goddamn kick-ass guitar work. You'll hear it multiple times throughout the song, but it's the highlight for me. It also leads into the solo, which just, when you get stuff like that in music, it just makes you get, pumped. Overall, Monster is not a bad song as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the growl vocals that happen, but depends on the person, I guess. Monster, like Empty Eyes, is also not a bad song. They are enjoyable listens, and Monster keeps that up. Track 3, The Water Dance, I ain't the biggest fan of, although it does have sections where the song switch to a more heavier style, and when it does this, it's honestly the most enjoyable part for me. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I found most of this song boring. I didn't really enjoy the slower elements of this song. It's alright. It's something I would have to come back to at a later date, but it's for me not the best song on the EP. I'm not the biggest fan of this song, to be honest. Maybe I'll appreciate it if I give it another listen, but I don't really want to, considering at the time of recording it just turned midnight, and I want to listen to other stuff that just came out, so I'm probably going to come back to this maybe 3 or 4 days later. But who knows, I might end up enjoying it after a listen or two. But on my first 2 listens, I just thought the song was just alright. It wasn't that good. Honestly, a little bit forgettable. Track 4, and honestly, I do not know how to pronounce this one, so I'm probably gonna put it up on screen or something. It's, out of all the songs on this EP, for me, the best song on this EP. It reminds me of old ballads, like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, what they used to do. It emulates that style, and it does it really well. It's not the most out there song out of this metal in general. It's not the most innovative. It sticks to its style. It stays pretty true to what it's trying to emulate. It's a really enjoyable song, and there's not much more I can say about that. It may seem like a cop-out that I ended up saying the best song on this album. Maybe you like, The Water Dance, or maybe Empty Eyes. I just ended up, out of all the other songs on this EP, finding this one the most enjoyable, and for me it was just a solid listen. It's a song that just emulates those old ballads, those old rock ballads, and it's, pretty enjoyable all the way through. It ain't anything too special, and I'm going to try and hammer that into you. It's something you ain't going to run over the hills and, shout, be like, hey everyone, go listen to this song. It's alright, I guess. It's, an enjoyable listen. But out of all the 4 songs that they ended up releasing from this EP, they were all just alright, and I guess that's good. Anyway, track 5 is a cover of Barracuda, and this one, like the others, ain't too bad. This one does stick very faithfully to the style of the original in terms of the instrumental work. But I do have an issue with that, and that's there's some parts that they exaggerate the vocals, and I ain't the biggest fan of this. Honestly, if they just stuck to being faithful to the original, this one would have been really good. I would have come back to this quite honestly because, you know, someone faithfully recreated Barracuda, a song that is just really good. You know, I ain't gonna sit here and critique Barracuda, like a lot of people know that song. You know, people probably have strong opinions to like or hate it, but I haven't heard the song too many times to say whether or not it's a bad song. I end up enjoying it. You know, it's Barracuda. And when they cover it, the songs that sound, you know, like the original Barracuda and how faithful it is, those are the best parts. But then when the exaggerated vocals kick in, it just takes me out. I just, you know, it's like, oh, this is good. This is a good recreation to, oh no, I'm not the biggest fan of this. You know what I mean? Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. MTI's ain't too bad. It ain't the best EP I've heard. I was kind of surprised to see Seven Kingdoms actually release an EP. I thought they would be doing a full-length album. Honestly, that album that they released in 2017 is just 10 times better than this. I don't remember the name, but it was just, you know, good. I remember In the Walls being pretty good. And maybe a few others. Stargazer was alright. Honestly, all I'm saying is if you want more Seven Kingdoms, just go re-listen to that album. I'm gonna just wrap this up by saying that I'm gonna give this a 4.5. I wasn't really into it, honestly. It's alright. You know, the Barracuda thing is the one that kind of salvaged it a bit, but I still wasn't the biggest fan of, you know, that song. Maybe I'm looking too much into this EP. Maybe I'm not. I don't know.